So I saw this guy, and he was selling right-wing political flags outside of a Walmart at this little booth. And as I saw the flags flapping in the wind, on the same pole, one after the other, it calcified in my mind how contradictory the messages of these flags are, and how mutually exclusive the meanings or the symbols that one flag represents compared to the next flag, compared to the flag after that, and how the fact that these have all coalesced into more or less a concrete right-wing ideology, or standard dogma for the Republican Party and the right wing and the rural right. I thought that was an interesting phenomenon because he was not flying a bunch of kooky flags that I've never seen flown before. He was flying the standard flags that I see on the back of pickup trucks, on Facebook banners, on mobile homes, on regular homes, all across rural America and right wing America. And so I thought maybe we would talk about, how these flags got coalesced together and how contradictory they actually are. So the first flag that he flew was the American flag, which I have no problem with, even though in general I don't think that nationalism is productive, and I wouldn't fly a Russian flag if I lived in Russia, or a Saudi Arabian flag if I lived in Saudi Arabia, or any other flag if I had lived in any other arbitrary corner of the earth that we've decided, defines us as a people more so than our common humanity. But aside from that, I think there's plenty of good reasons to fly the American flag. You could fly it for our steadfast commitment to free speech and freedom of expression, and freedom of assembly, and the abolition movement, and the fact that we were able to vanquish slavery, and the civil rights movement, and the fact that we're a melting pot that brings different cultures and peoples together, and your tired, sick, your poor, huddled masses, or whatever they call them, and give them an opportunity for their to have a new life. And so I think that's the best of America. And if you're going to fly a piece of cloth that's going to define you, I think that that's what you should fly that cloth for. I think it's safe to say that maybe those are not quite the same values that he was flying the flag for, as the following flags seem to demonstrate. And then they had a second flag, and that was the Confederate flag, which is interesting because you usually don't see somebody flying a Krusty Krab flag right next to a Chum Bucket flag, or a He-Man flag next to the Skeletor flag. But here in America, we could fly the rebel flag of the rebels rebelling against the American flag. And they're rebelling against it because they wanted to maintain their slaves. And then the people flying the American flag will we'll say that we are from the party of Lincoln, the party of the man that the flyers of the second flag decided they would rather die and secede from the Union in order to fight him because he was so against their values, in order to protect slavery. That guy was the guy that we are also going to tout as the founder of the Republican Party. So we're the party of Lincoln. So we're the party of Lincoln, we're the party of the American flag flyers, and we're also the party of the Confederate flag flyers and the supporters of the rebels who hated Lincoln more than anything in the world, and they died in order to fight him. Kind of an obvious contradiction, but I thought I would point it out. So the third flag was the Don't Tread on Me flag, which is a yellow flag with a coiled snake in the center of it, saying to the world, do not tread on me. Or rather, don't tread on me, because he is a working class snake of the people, and he uses the vernacular of the hardworking serpents in his areas. And the reason that he says that, or the people flying the flag fly it, is because they don't want big government to impinge upon them and tread on them. These are people with guns, and they will protect their house with their life, and they will protect their land, and they just want to be left alone. And it's kind of a similar sentiment to the flyers of the original flyers of the Confederate flag, who just wanted the government to leave them alone, so that they could be free, to run their plantations and whip their slaves without people telling them what to do or how to run their lives. As George Carlin told me, America was founded by slaveholders that wanted to be free. And that's what the Confederate flag, the undertone of it is, and that's why the serpent flag is flown by the same people. And so, understandable. I think that, freedom is a good thing. The devil's in the details. In this case, literally, because the details would send many people to the devil for enslaving others, if there was such a devil. But it kind of makes sense. But when you look at the fourth flag, the contradictions start to manifest themselves, because the fourth flag is the thin blue line flag, which is a flag flown to support our police officers, or our law enforcement officers, or the agents of the state in charge of enforcing the many laws of the state. And so the people flying the flag that says, the state is too big and it needs to leave me alone and stop trying to dictate my life with all these laws, are also flying a flag that says, we need to support these people enforcing all these laws, or else we're going to have big trouble here. And so the contradiction there is not really seen by the flyers of the flags. I'd say it's not quite as obvious as the Confederacy versus the American flag, but it's right there. But fundamentally, I think the reason for that is because the flyers of the Don't Tread on Me flag don't really have a problem when low level drug offenders are being arrested in inner cities and sentenced to years in prison for small amounts of cocaine or heroin or even marijuana. That's not really what we're talking about. Their concern is that they are able to, no law should be passed that would stop them from walking into a nursery with an AK-47, because they're a hardworking American, and the problem. Guns don't kill people, people kill people. And so that's what they're talking about. And so it's not really a commitment to smaller government or even an opposition to tyranny. It's a commitment to their particular form of ideology not being messed with at all. And it's a blatant contradiction, but it's only one of many. So.